Hi guys, it's Wayne again. Welcome back to the Airwolf build. Now, as you know, in the previous video I said I wouldn't get much done last weekend, which is true, I didn't, with all the stuff I had going on. So what I've been doing is I've been doing a bit on Monday. Tuesday I couldn't because I was watching WWE Raw. Last night I did a bit, and tonight I've done a little bit as well. So I'll show you now what I've done in the last couple of days. Now, as you can see, I've glued both halves together now. I've also put back in the rotor assembly because I've let me just turn that over. I've painted underneath in the dark bluish grey that I've got, because on the bottom it was dark. On the bottom it was dark grey. On the top of the rotor it was white, as you can see there. I've also done the tips in the yellow. I've also, let me just turn this over. I've also finished off the belly work now, white work. I've also rounded that off with my anthracite on the front of the belly, and I've also decided to paint the belly section because it didn't match as feared, so I painted the belly section as well. And as you can see, I've also clicked in the landing gear because it's got a nice little feature which I'm going to explain in a moment. I've also, there you go, I've also painted the glued in the side pod housing. I've also painted it in the inside in a light olive green. Basically what I did is I got my dark olive green that I've got, I mixed it with a bit of white and a bit of yellow, and got that really nice. And I've also done the wire work in there as well, the electronics for the side pods to come out on both sides. Also, I don't know if you can make that out, there you go. I've also put the guns together, all three pieces. Just move that up a bit, there you go. Two sections of the top guns. I've painted the channeling in black, you can probably just make that out. And then very intricately painted round the black channels, the barrel channels, with the silver. I've also done the side pod covers as well, but I screwed up when I took them off the sprue, and when I shaved it, where's my cocktail stick? When I shaved it, I accidentally cut a chunk right out, so I've got some of my modelling clay, and I've moulded it back into place. I've also done it on that one as well, on the outer, so I want to smooth that down on the fascia. Let's see if I can turn that around. There you go. And hopefully when that sets tomorrow, I can smooth it down and paint it in the olive. I might be even able to put the blue circles in for the, what was, I think might be cameras. I don't know yet. Done. Now the little cool feature I'm going to show you, I've just called my wife because she's going to hold the camera for me, is the landing gear. Now, with the polypropylene sleeves inside there we go, the landing gear just slots in there without it needing to glue. So you can either just pull the landing gear out, and you can put a nice little cover on there for flight mode. So my wife's going to now hold the camera, and I'm going to sell hands-free so I can show you taking that out. Just here, hold it down like that. There we go. So basically, just pull that out. There we go. Just use the landing gear. Let's see if I can get. And I can just push that into place. Oh, getting a miserable thing. Sorry about this, guys. Bloody finger work. There we go. Just put the white blanket on it. Now, as you can see, that flap sits in perfect like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint that white flap, and then I'm going to have it displayed in combat mode. But what I'm going to do, as you can see the difference. I'm probably going to manoeuvre that flap a bit more so it does show as much with the gap. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep them wheels, and I'm going to put them in that bag there. So when anybody asks me if you still got the landing gear, you know, if any friends come round, I can easily take it off the stand and slot the wheels in. Really nice. Also, with the landing gear, you can just make it out. Before I put the wheel on the landing gear itself, there's a nice little hole in the middle, obviously. So what you do is you get your wheel, and you get a cocktail stick, which for me is a modeller's best friend. And you stick the cocktail stick right down the centre of the wheel and wedge it down a bit further down the cocktail stick, and then get your black paint and just paint the wheel, and it won't move on the cocktail stick, so you'll be fine. And it worked out a real nice treat. And then I just glued that landing gear is actually 3 pieces. You've got the 2 outer pieces, and there you go. You can just make that little stick out there, that's sticking out of the dangle. That's what sticks into that little polypropylene washer. Again, don't glue it in to the little housing in there. And that's pretty much it. You can have it in display mode, sorry, not display mode, in flight mode or in landing gear mode. So kudos to Aoshima. Now, again, I can't find the cocktail stick, so that's where the ADF pod clips in, and that there is where the stand clips in as well. So when I've built the stand, I'll just clip it in there. I won't need to glue it or nothing, obviously, and then you'll be ready to put on the stand. That there is a landing light, so I've got to build that and slot that into place. As you can see, I haven't done the tail rotor section yet because I've got to do that hopefully in the next couple of days. But as you can see, all the line work on the white is really nice. Again, I did have a bit of paint bleed, but as soon as I took the tape off, just touched it up with the anthracite and it worked as well. I've also done it there as well. Just turn that around. You can also see, there you go, the nice lines there, and there it sits on there. You can see the rear of it going in from the belly, from the tail rotor all the way down the belly. You can just make out the thrusters. But again, you can see the difference between the wheel and the landing gear and the housing cover for the landing gear. Also, again, don't glue that propeller in. Don't glue that propeller in. Just lift it out. I'm not going to demonstrate that, but you can see how nice the yellow is on both sides. Now, I did have a little quick update as well. When I glued it together, I did have a bit of the fear. At the bottom, it sat in fine. At the top, I had to do like Arkwright and jiggle it a bit, and then magically it slipped into place in their mounting holes. And I had a massive seam all the way down the back there on the rear of the body, all the way down the tail. A massive horrible seam. I also had a bit of a seam on the windows, but I'm not really bothered about that, and on the nose, but that nose section there covers up that seam. So watching some of Coraline's videos, a little mention about you there, Coraline. I'm watching some of his videos when he does the seam work and he uses a sanding stick, and I use that little emery stick there. I sanded all the way down the back and the tail section, and that seam disappeared, and then I paint over it and the seam's gone. So again, Coraline, thank you very much for your little tutorial on how to do seam work. But that's how we're sitting now. A little bit of progress, and stay tuned. Thank you very much.